What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special edition. We're getting ready to cover some of these NFL schedules. But before I get into it, I got my boy Armand back with me. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Nate? How you doing?
Man, doing pretty good. Actually, ready to find out what we're gonna be seeing, what games I'm gonna be seeing from my boys and the other games around the league this season. Before I even talk about my team, have you found out anything about the Browns? Like, what is the Browns schedule looking like so far?
Yeah, so the Browns have the number one strength of schedule going into the 2024 season. So week one, we'll be playing home opener to the Dallas Cowboys, aka America's team, at 4:25 p.m. Tom Brady will be calling his first ever play-by-play broadcasting game, so it's going to be a very, very intense atmosphere. So looking forward to that. Week two, we're supposed to be going to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars, a team that had some potential, but kind of fell off down the stretch last year. And we also are going to be playing the NFC South with the Saints, hopefully week 11. And yeah, we have a really we got a tough year, man.
Yes, sir. We need you to get that dub. We need you to get that dub. Yeah, man. We found out so far that we so the ones that I know of so far for us has been the we're hearing that it's gonna be the Steelers week one. The Chiefs is here week 3 on Sunday Night Football. The schedule's actually just been released, so we're gonna show it up on here too. Week 2, we got a Monday night game against Philly. Week 4, they're saying against the Saints. I heard week 5 is Thursday Night Football against the Buccaneers. We got a late season Monday night game in Vegas. So them were the games that we knew coming in. But matter of fact, I seen a couple of posts just go up as far as the schedule. Let me see, can I pull the schedule up right now? Okay, actually, let me go ahead and get the schedule up. I'm ready to see it though, because we've been waiting on it for a while. And for you that are season ticket holders, if you are a season ticket holder for the Falcons or whoever team you with, they are going to release a code for you to go ahead and take a look on Ticketmaster with no fees. So you better go on there and get your free chance at getting tickets with no fees right now. Let me see. I'm trying to get ours up. They did a big release. Okay, it is ready. So let me go show the screen up and put the screen up so everybody can see this Atlanta Falcons official schedule. All right, let me get the screen a little bit bigger. Hold on. I've been waiting on this one because you got to plan around it. So, of course, just showing y'all this schedule from the start. Let me set these cookies and we get started. I see some of the other teams showing their schedules too. Okay, here we go. Week 1, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, as I mentioned already, at 1:00 on Fox. Week 2 is going to be a Monday Night Football game at home against in Philadelphia. That's the first. It might shock you. This is our first game on Monday Night Football in 4 years. We have not been on Monday Night Football since 2020. So, getting the first primetime game. We're getting another primetime game at home week 3 against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a Sunday Night Football game. We haven't played on Sunday Night Football in 5 years. Week 4, we're going to be at home still against the New Orleans Saints. That's a 1:00 start. Week 5, we got Thursday Night Football at home against the Buccaneers. Let's go to week 6. Week 6 is going to be a 4:25 start at Carolina against the Panthers. So we got 3 consecutive division games out the gate. Week number 7, you got the Seattle Seahawks at home. We got a lot of home games early. I don't like it. I don't like that. We got the Seahawks at home week 7, 1:00 start. Week 8, we're going to go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Week 9, oh my God. If my boys are watching, Katie, if y'all watching this, man, I just called this. I said before I came on air that the Falcons were going to be playing the Cowboys for my mom's birthday. And look at where it is. November the 3rd, week 9 is going to be the Cowboys in Atlanta, 1:00 start. Yeah, there you go. I called it. I just said it before we came on air that was going to be the game. Week number 10 is going to be it's going to be on the road at New Orleans. That's a 1:00 start. Week 11, I forgot we played the Broncos. We played the Broncos in Denver. And then we got a bye week the week of Thanksgiving. So we'll be able to enjoy week of Thanksgiving with no Falcon football. Week 13 is going to be at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. And head coach Jim Harbaugh, looking forward to see what that group look like by that time in the season. Week 14 is going to be on the road at Minnesota. That's going to be in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins return to the Vikings. Week 15, another Monday Night Football game against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's again Monday Night Football game. The Falcons did get a home game week 16 against the New York Giants here in Atlanta. That's going to be a 1:00 start at the moment. The last two games are to be determined, of course, based on the playoff scheduling or whatever. Week 17 is going to be in Washington, and week 18 is going to be at home against the Panthers. But before I jump into it, what do you think about this schedule so far from what you saw as far as like the Falcons schedule? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely see what you've seen. A lot of home games early. I think having a bye week 12, I believe, will be helpful for any team that's going through a hard, long season to get a break. I will say down the stretch looks pretty favorable for you all. You have the Commanders, the Panthers, the Giants. Like those are 3 winnable games. So if you all can win early those home games and still, down the stretch, if you have good health and can go into some of those environments and win, I think you all will be on the path to the playoffs.
Okay. My thoughts on our schedule. Let me go back and put us up on the screen. My bad. All right, there we go. Just me really looking at our schedule again. I hate the first 5 games. The Falcons can't go no worse than 2 and 3. And I'm not saying that they aren't capable of winning majority of these games, but you got to go 2 and 3 in the first 5 because you got 3 of the better defenses in the league in the first 3 weeks. Luckily you got 2 of them at home. So you got 2 at home. You got the Chiefs and the Steelers. Luckily you got to steal one of them 2 games. You cannot afford to lose both of them home games. You got to go to Philly. I don't really feel good about Philadelphia. They're one of them teams that has always been a problem for the Falcons. I've never liked that about it. But after the first 4-5 weeks, the Falcons, it started to somewhat balance itself out. You go to Carolina, you got the Seahawks at home. Tampa's on the road. That Tampa, Dallas, and New Orleans stretch is another little tough stretch for the Falcons right before the bye week. They go to Denver. Then after the bye, you got the Chargers, the Vikings, the Raiders. Like you said, down the stretch, the Falcons schedule looks a little favorable, but early on, we're gonna learn a lot about the Falcons really, really quick. And that's showing out the gate. And then another thing that I want to point out there. The NFL must mess with Kirk Cousins because the Falcons didn't have 1 primetime game last year, and we turned around and have 5 this year. So they must really mess with with Kirk Cousins. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, Kirk Cousins is not the best quarterback in primetime, so I'm a little nervous about that. But we'll see.
I will say a lot of the teams that you are playing in primetime are the marquee teams. Like you got the Eagles, you got the Chiefs. Who else you got on here? I mean, the Raiders, not really, but historical. And then who's the 5th game? The Buccaneers. So that's a rivalry game. So, yeah, they definitely. This gives you a great opportunity to show the Falcons that you guys are for real this season.
Yeah, you're right about that. That is so true. Let me go to some of the comments real quick. He's still talking about Braylon Trice. Leave me alone, man. What's going on, man? What's up, man? I told you that's who you're talking about. Yes, sir. What's up, Till? First 5 games will be at least 3. I like your confidence. Like I said, we gotta be 2 and 3 at worst in the first 5 weeks, or you're not gonna be looking good for us.
So if you look at that schedule, Are there any like trap games?
God, the only Falcons season tickets. Okay, I'm gonna pull up. I'm just catching some of the comments up. You called it, Cowboy. Hey, chill out now. Chill out now. Catch me in Vegas. Yes, sir. That sound like a plan to go to Vegas in December. You said the strength of schedule. I do agree with that. Good to have home games early, catch the vibe with each other. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm up and down. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. When they first start leaking the games, I did not like how they were. There was so many home games early. And there is a lot of home games early. We only have like 3 games on the back end. But the thing I do like is it don't seem like it's a lot of excessive road games either. It's like you got a ton of home games early. You got like 2 road games. And you got a home game, 2 road games, and a home game. So it's kind of balancing itself out to an extent. But I hate because for me, I like to have more games back on the back end, especially when you're in a playoff hunt. But let's see. JD said the Falcons are going to 12-5. Okay, I like your confidence. Q, what's up, my boy? What's going on, bro? Tev said 10-7. I can see that. Quentin said 9-8. I mean, I can see that. Listen, we were 7-10 since we haven't won more than 7 games in the last 7 years. So I'll take 9-8. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wow. Cowboys by 30. Ew. Ugh. Quentin said that we're gonna go 0-3 the first 3 weeks.
If you pull up the first the schedule.
Pull up the schedule. Okay. Hold on. There we go. Back to the schedule.
Yeah. Do you see any games that are potential trap games in here for the Falcons? And what is your record prediction? I have a couple questions. The record prediction, and when do you think Michael Penix is going to play?
I don't think Penix gets if the season goes well, he don't get as much of a chance this season. But if you ask him, I got to give a prediction right now.
Hey man, we got people giving predictions, but that's why we're here, man.
Okay. Let me look at. I'm gonna go down the schedule and I tell my prediction. All right, so this is just from me looking at it right now. I think we beat the Steelers week 1. I think that team's gonna be still gaining their chemistry week 1. I think we lose week 2 at Philadelphia. I don't really think this team is ready for Philadelphia. I don't think they're gonna beat the Chiefs either. I think we're gonna drop to 1 and 2. I do think that they'll beat New Orleans at home week 4, because of course it's Falcons Saints. I'm never gonna pick the Falcons to lose to the Saints at home, especially. So I think we'll get to 2-2. I think the Falcons, that Bucs game is a tricky one. I'm gonna give them the win. That's a one on the fence, to be honest with you. So I got them start getting to 3-2. I got them beating Carolina and Carolina, go to 4-2. I got us actually losing at home to the Seahawks. That's a game that I think that the Falcons may struggle in, because Seattle's actually a pretty good. Seattle's one of them slept on teams. They come in here, they give you fits in the wrong time. So what's that? 4-3. I got us dropping to the Bucs in Tampa. I got us splitting with Tampa Bay. I'm calling the upset at home against the Cowboys. I got us beating the Cowboys at home to get to 5-4. I got us losing to New Orleans. I got us splitting with the Saints. You just never know what the Saints you're going to catch. I got us beating the Broncos on the road to get to 6-5 and go on a bye week. Coming off the bye, I actually got the Falcons winning at home against the Chargers and against the Vikings. So that was that. Put us at 8-5 on the season. That Raider game is tricky. I'm going to probably pick us to lose that game. I think we'll. I'm going to give us another loss on that one to say we're 8-6. I got us beating the Giants at home. The Commanders is going to depend on the weather. That's a game the Falcons. I'm going to say we're going 10-7. That's what I'm going to say. Just from what I see right now, I say 10-7. I might be stretching. Might be 9-8, 10-7 as well. But I say 10-7 from what I see right now. I got to see what this team look like as the season gets in. JD said both prediction the Falcons will go 5-1 in the division to go 3-1 in the NFC West. Ooh, I like your confidence. I got to see us on the field first before I go that far, but I like your confidence. You got to split it with the Aints. They didn't have a quarterback last year. And they beat us by 31. That's not an excuse. So I'm not even going to sit here and scream that we lost to a couple teams that was in the top 10 in the draft. We lost to what? The Commanders, a couple teams last year we had no business losing to. So I'm not even going to use that as an excuse. But okay, so that's my thoughts on the Falcons. Let's pull up the Browns schedule. By the way, y'all in the comments, if you want us to check, you want us to pull your team schedule up too, definitely let us know. Shout your team out in the chat. We'll pull them up. Let's see. Go to some of the comments. Kirk is a question mark. That's the thing. I don't really know what we're getting out of Kirk Cousins right now. I think a healthy Kirk Cousins can get us to a 10-win team. But again, you just don't know. The schedules is not as easy as schedule makers are making it. There is some good games in this schedule. Yeah. I don't care what the record says. So, and I understand that last year was Arthur Smith. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think the offense is going to be our issue this year. I think we still have a glaring issue at rushing the passer. So you could find yourself in a shootout in a couple of games against better teams. So that's where my issue is right now. JD said, quick question. How do you feel about Raheem Morris? Where our defense is going to be a huge difference. I don't know what we see. I don't like what we did totally this offseason. I'm not going to say we had a bad offseason, but I do think that the Falcons pass rush is going to be my biggest concern. I love what they did in the draft, but I think the Falcons are going to have their hands full as far as their pass rush, especially early on. That's what I think. And my boy Tyler checking in. Who's that?
I can see y'all going 9-8, 10-7.
Yeah, I can't go I'm not going to jump the gun and go, we're going to go 12-5. I don't see 12 yet. I got to see the team on the field. Now, if you find a way to come out of that first 5, 3-2, 4-1, then we may have a different conversation. But right now, I'm going to say we're going to go 10-7. All right, you said do the Cowboys. All right, I'm gonna pull up the Cowboys. We're gonna get all of y'all teams. Matter of fact, anybody that want their team pulled up here, we will get to them. Hold on 1 second. Let's pull it up. Oh, and shout out to my boy Reed, man. I called that as far as the game being on my mom's birthday. I just knew it. I just knew it, man. I just knew it. I knew it. So guess what I got to do? I got to pay for some tickets for my mom's birthday to go see the Cowboys. Best birthday gift she can ask for. But let me pull up this Cowboys schedule. Oh, let's see. Justin Brown has the Falcons winning the division 9-8 with a tiebreak over Tampa. That would be interesting. I take it. I mean, listen, a winning record is what I want. That's what I want for the most part.
Of course.
Because when you ain't had a winning record since 2017, you'll take a winning record. All right, let's go to this Dallas Cowboys schedule. All righty, let me go set the cookies over here. Okay. Shout out to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys and see how they rebound from the unfortunate end to last season. That's their preseason schedule. We'll skip past it. Okay. Week 1, they opened up against the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to my boy Armand in those Browns. They got to see them Browns. Week 1. Week 2, they got the Saints at home. They got the Baltimore Ravens at home week 3 at 4:25 start for Eastern time. They get a night game against the New York Giants, Thursday night game. I do not know why they keep giving the Giants in them night games. That with the way the Giants look right now. No jab at the New York Giants for the fans that are watching, but no, sir. But they got Pittsburgh week 5. That's a Sunday night game, matter of fact. They got the Lions. Oh, man, that's going to be a good game. They go to Detroit against the Lions at 4:25 start. They got an early week 7 bye week. Then they got out of the bye, they got San Francisco. In San Francisco, they come to Atlanta to play the Falcons. They got the Philadelphia Eagles at home week 10. Oh, my God. Week 11, they got the Texans on Monday Night Football. Then week 12, they get the Commanders. Look like they're gonna. That's not Thanksgiving game. They get the Commanders in Washington. Week 13 is their Thanksgiving slugfest against the New York Giants. They get another Monday night game after that against the Cincinnati Bengals at home. They go back to Carolina this year. So for all you Cowboy fans that live in the Cowboy fans that live in Carolina, y'all better pull up. They're coming back to Carolina for the second straight year. That's awesome though. Week 16, they got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. They go to Philadelphia week 17. That could be for a division, knowing those two. And then week 18, they get to play the Commanders for the 50th million time week 18. I know Cowboys fans are getting sick of seeing them. But what you think about their schedule?
That's a tough schedule, man. That's a lot of tough schedules. I mean, going on the road, first game, going to Cleveland. I can see them being a wild card team. I hope they can get that situation with Dak worked out. I think that could be a distraction going into training camp, into the preseason. They also are doing some makeshift with the offensive line. You know, the great Tyron Smith has moved on. He's now with the New York Jets. So, but they still have a lot of playmakers. I mean, so they can definitely still score a lot of points. They still can rush the passer. They got, some good corners. It's just the Cowboys can't cowboy. That's all. They really got to stay focused.
That's true. That's true. And I can agree. This is a tough schedule for them. The Cowboys have a couple of – so the Cowboys schedule after week 2, you got Baltimore at home. You get the Giants. You should beat the Giants. Then you got Pittsburgh on the road. You get Detroit at home. You get a bye week. You go to San Fran. And you come to Atlanta. You got you get the Eagles in Texas right to the Falcon game. So that stretch from September 22nd to November 18th is going to make or break the Cowboys season. And that's really what it comes down to. I think the Cowboys roster is talented enough to, like you said, to be at least a wild card team at minimum. But they're going to learn a lot about themselves after week 2 against New Orleans. And this is no jab at the Saints. But at the end of the day, when you look at what they deal with from week 3 on down, that's a very, very brutal stretch that they got to go through. Especially some of their tougher games is on the road. You go into San Francisco. I mean, you do get the Lions and you get the benefit of catching like Lamar and the Lions and the Eagles and Texans at home, which is a benefit. But at the same time, again, these are some of the better teams in the NFL this year. So this would be, if there's ever a year for the Cowboys to make some noise with the schedule that they have received, then this would be the year to do it. Let me see some of the comments. What's going on, Ant? My boy Ant checking in. He said the Patriots, man. All right, I got this. We got to hit my boy Armand team. I'm gonna get to the Patriots too. We got to hit your team too, bro. Got to see what y'all cooking up over there for the season that's coming up. But just looking at this schedule before we kick off of the Cowboys, how you feeling about their season?
I could see them going. It's tough. It's tough. I could see they won 12 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them maybe winning 10 games. I could see them as a wild card.
Yeah, I see around that 10-11 range with this team too, because you do, like I said, that home crowd gonna carry us with a couple wins that they probably gonna be in some close, tough games. I agree with that, Reek. I got 10-7 for the Cowboys also. That's what I feel like. I think this schedule is going to be a tough one for the Cowboys, but I think they're talented enough to win 10 games. I definitely think they're going to be good enough to win 10 games. Quentin said, check the Seahawks. I got you. I'm going to check on the Seahawks too. But let me hit the Browns real quick. Let me go back to the main screen. But I didn't know that schedule was that tough.
The first 6 games is tough, man. They got to go 3-3 at least. Because after that bye week, it's gonna get ugly. So they better get off to a good start. And they could lose to the Saints. The Saints could come out and surprise somebody. Week 2. So
the weird part about it, I know my boy Tyreek's in the comments. He's a Cowboys fan. The Saints it's weird. You got certain teams in the NFL that will turn up on certain teams in the NFL. The Saints typically play the Cowboys well. I do not understand why. But those are typically some of their toughest games against the New Orleans Saints. I don't understand it. I got the Cowboys winning, of course. I never want to see the Saints win the game, but like you said, you never know. That's not a slouch home opener for the Browns either. Let's go to the Cleveland Browns. Oh, before we get to that, Quentin said the Cowboys will finish second in the division and head home first round. Okay. Let me get the screen full because they actually got like the written down. Okay, here we go. Let's accept the cookies here and let's get started. Oh my God, I hate when you do that. And let's get started on this Cleveland Browns schedule. So, as we all know, shout out to Tom Brady. It's going to be his first game that he commentates for Fox. Week 1 is against the Dallas Cowboys at home. Week 2 is against the Jacksonville Jaguars at Jacksonville for the Browns. Week 3 is against the New York Giants at home. Week 4 is at Vegas. Week 5 is at Washington. Week 6 is at Philly. 1 o'clock start on Fox. Week 7, they got the Cincinnati Bengals at home. They got week 8 against the Ravens at home. That's their first 8 weeks. Then you get to week 9, you got the Chargers at home, and then you got a week 10 bye. They come off the bye week. They got the New Orleans Saints at home. In New Orleans. They got the Saints in New Orleans. Week 12, they go see the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. They got Denver down this December stretch. They got, oh my God. Now this back stretch, week 13, they got Denver. They should beat the Broncos. But after week 13, week 14 to 18 gonna make or break their season. They go to Pittsburgh. 1 o'clock start on Fox. CBS. They got the Chiefs at home. That should be favorable. They got a Thursday nighter look like against the Cincinnati Bengals at Cincinnati. They got a Sunday night game against the Miami Dolphins, and then week 18 is at Baltimore. But looking at this schedule, how do you feel about the Cleveland Browns schedule?
I love that the Miami Dolphins game is in December. So that's going to automatically put us in a win. The weather, they're not going to survive. So that is great news. It's tough. It's definitely tough. That if you scroll up to like even the week 7 where we start to get in division games, it's going to get pretty tight with that Philly, Cincy, and Baltimore stretch. I think the first 5 weeks we need to go with 4-1. I would even say worst 3-2. We could possibly go 5-0 if Watson plays well, but that's gonna be a tough stretch. I would say we won 11 games last year. I think I would probably say, it's hard. We had a lot of injuries last year. I want to be optimistic. I want to say we'll win. It's between 9 and 11 games. I say 9 and 11.
I respect. No, let me go. I want to find a better graphic for that schedule so we can show their so we can talk about that schedule too. So let me go back. All right, I found one. Okay, this is the better graphic for the schedule. I do agree with you. I think if they get past Dallas week 1, they have an opportunity to go at least 4-1 in the first 5 weeks. The one of the first 2 games going to be the toughest 2 for the Browns in that stretch. Like you said, that Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Baltimore stretch is going to be a little tough. Then you got that 5 games at the back end. But like you said, they're good enough to win between 9 to 11 games. I do agree with that. I think that, like you said, that week 17 for Miami in Cleveland is not a good one for them. I think that's going to be a little tough on them. It's going to be a little challenging for them. I'm looking at that game, and then week 18 is going to be interesting because just depending on how the season goes, you don't know if that could be for the division title. That could be, you just never know. You just never know with that team. But no, I do agree with you. I think that I think y'all can win definitely 9 to 11 games with this schedule. I seen Q said he wanted to see the Seahawks schedule and pull them up right as we speak right now. By the way, for Seahawks fans, tune in October 20th. Y'all will be in Atlanta. That's gonna be interesting to see by that time. I actually got y'all winning that game. I just I don't know. We tend to we got a dumb home game we're gonna lose, and that's gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one that's gonna catch us. And also, before I pull this up, the Seahawks do come into this season with 4 primetime games too, by the way, Seahawks fans. So get prepared for that. You got 4 primetime games. It looked like the NFL tried to split those primetime games up too. You kind of notice that. See, like a couple of teams got a little more favor as far as their primetime stretch. So
yeah, the Browns got 3 primetime games. So yeah.
All righty, here we go. Actually, they got a graphic up for them. So week 1, the Seahawks get to play Denver at home. They got the Patriots. Week 2, they get a chance to go against Drake May. Week 3, they got the Dolphins at home. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Week 4, they go to Detroit on Monday Night Football. They got week 5 at home. Well, week 5 and 6 at home. They get the Giants week 5, and they play a Thursday nighter at home against the 49ers. They got Atlanta on the road. Then they go to Buffalo. They go back home and play the Bills and the Rams, and they get a bye week. Week 11, they come off that bye, and they play the San Francisco 49ers. They got the Arizona Cardinals. They got the Cardinals at home week 12. They go to New York and Arizona week 13 and week 14. They got a Sunday night game at home against the Green Bay Packers. Then they got a game at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Then week 17 and 18, they are against the Chicago Bears. That's a Sunday night game. So Chicago getting a couple of night games as well. And then week 18 is either going to be between the Rams either on that 4th or the 5th. Looking at their schedule, this is not a bad schedule for the Seahawks. I think that the Seahawks get the benefit of catching a couple of their toughest games at home. I think that's a good thing for them. Like, you get Miami early. You get them out the way early. Detroit's going to be a tough game on the road for Monday Night Football. You get to play the 49ers at home on Thursday night. You actually get 10, and that's interesting. I picked them to beat the Falcons before I saw they get a 10-day break. So they got a good extra 10 days before that Atlanta game. So they'll be well rested from that game. You get the Bills, which God knows, I don't know what the Bills are going to look like at that point. At home, you got a week 10 bye, which I think is good because, I mean, you're getting 9 games early on. Then you're going to play your back half in the second half of the season. That 49er game, you get 2 tough road games out the gate. You got San Fran and New York. Then, of course, like I said, you got the Packers and Vikings at home. And then you go on the road the last 2 games. But this is a manageable schedule for the Seahawks. I can't really put no record behind them. But the Seahawks is a team you just don't want to count out either. So, how you feeling about their schedule?
They have some games that they can win, and I see some games that they can lose. I think that second half of the season is pretty rough, especially those last 4 games. I think a lot of people are like really doubting the Vikings just because of kind of their transition, but they have to play Green Bay. They have to play the Vikings. They have to go to Chicago in December. And then they play the Rams. That's going to probably be for a playoff spot. I see the Seahawks not making the playoffs this year.
Man.
I don't know how Geno's going to play, especially with a new head coach. I think their defense will be pretty solid, but I don't know if I trust Geno.
Yeah, I understand 100% on that one, bro. I definitely understand that. And like I said, it's going to be interesting. I think one of my, I don't know if he's still tuned in. That's his biggest concern for the Seahawks. The Seahawks roster's trending in the right direction, but Geno is going to be your guy that you really don't trust. They could be one of the teams that get into the quarterback market for the 25 draft. So that could be a team to watch out for. That this could be the last season of my boy Geno out there. I don't think he's going to be past this season as their starting quarterback. Duke Dub checking in said the Giants going to go 10-7. I like your confidence, bro. I love it. Man, let's see though. Before So let's go to. I want to go to this defending the back-to-back champs. I got to see their schedule.
Back-to-back champs. They got some tough games, man.
They do. They really do.
I'm definitely curious to see how the wide receiver room is gonna play this year. I know they got Worthy, but also the whole Rashee Rice situation is unfortunate, and that's people they'll figure it out. We thought last year they were gonna figure it out, and they did. So
yes, that's true. That is so true. And for the schedule of the two-time champions, let's pull up these Kansas City Chiefs. We're gonna skip past preseason because that don't matter anyways. This is last season's schedule. What do they got going on? Hold on, man. There it goes. Come on, Chiefs, get your site together. There we go. They had their whole schedule up from last season. I ain't paying no attention. Okay, week number 1. Of course, as we all know, this. By the way, as you see, the tickets go on sale for the general public tomorrow. So, of course, also as I mentioned earlier when I started the Falcons schedule predictions, the Falcons schedule, they are allowing season ticket holders to get 24-hour access ahead of schedule, and then the rest of the tickets will be available on the market. So, week 1 is going to be at home against the Baltimore Ravens, and they get week 2 against Joe Burrow and the Bengals at home. Their first road game is actually going to be the Falcon game. That's their second. So, by the way, let's also keep this in mind. The Chiefs will have their second primetime game in the first 3 weeks. Then they go to the Chargers. They get a third primetime game on the road. No, excuse me. That's at home against the New Orleans Saints. They get a week 6 bye week. They go on the road to San Francisco in the Super Bowl rematch. That's a 4:25 start on Fox. Week 7, week 8, you go to Vegas. Week 9, you get another Monday Night Football game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then week 10, they're gonna play this is crazy. Let me go back. Excuse me, y'all. I want to go back and see something. I'm correct. Armand, if you notice one thing, week 10 will be the first time this whole season that the Chiefs will play a 1:00 game. Every game that they play will either be national or a night game.
Wow.
So they don't play a 1:00 game until week 10. That is crazy.
I did not notice that.
I noticed that as I was going through the schedule. They get a rematch. They get to play Josh Allen and company in a divisional round rematch. Week 11 at Buffalo. They go to Carolina week 12. Week 13, they got the Raiders at home. That look like that's actually, by the way, for everyone that's not aware, that's going to be the Black Friday game this year. So they get to play. So tune in on Amazon Prime because it won't be on local TV. Week 14, they're going to get the Chargers in a Sunday night game. Week 15, to go to Cleveland. Week 16 is another primetime game. This is actually a Saturday game against the Houston Texans. Week 17, they play a Christmas game against the Steelers. Get a load of that. Make sure y'all reading that on Netflix. Let me make sure I say that one more time. The Christmas game will be on Netflix.
And no chilling.
Do not try to tune in on local TV and talk about, man, what station the Chiefs game on Netflix? So make sure you pay in it.
Better get your own account.
Yes, sir. Make sure you pay in
your own account. They're gonna be password. No more password sharing.
No more password sharing because they're gonna be tuning into the game too. And then week 18 is going to be against the Denver Broncos. But, they schedule, it wavers. It's kind of up and down. And KD said Netflix NFL chill with this.
Yeah, I was like, no chilling.
So
I think the Chiefs will go 12-5, 13-4. Until the Chiefs give me a reason to not give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, that defense is still top notch. They did lose L'Jarius Sneed, but they've drafted really, really well. And I'm really excited to see how Xavier Worthy is going to really play in that offense, of how they're going to utilize him. I think that's going to be one of the biggest storylines for any rookie this offseason.
I agree with that 100%. I have to say, for me, I am so happy we played the Chiefs early. I hope we play the Chiefs early. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Glad we played the Chiefs early, because once they get in the groove, they'll be fine. So I'm glad then that's actually their first road game of the year that's going to be in Atlanta. So hopefully we catch them slipping. I don't see it happening, but Armand said they should go 12-5, 13-4 as well. I think that they should be a tough out. As you see, this is the breakdown of their schedule again. Their schedule is kind of up and down. They get a tough start against the Ravens and the Bengals. Then they go on the road for a couple weeks. They get the 49ers in week 7. They got the Texans at home. Oh, excuse me, the Browns and Texans stretch is going to be a little tough. But, Browns, Texans, and Steelers. I mean, not count the Steelers out. It's going to be tough. But to me, they don't really – there's no stretch in their schedule where you're just like, oh, my God, they got to do this, they got to do that if they're not going to be in a good position. So I think their schedule is kind of favorable. So I think that's a good thing for them.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited to play the Chiefs as a Browns fan. And I know that's probably like people think I'm crazy, but if you look at the Chiefs schedule, they've beaten everybody. But they played the Ravens multiple times. They played the only team they really have had struggles with is the Bengals, is just because of Joe Burrow. But they've beaten the Bills before. I mean, they have beaten us in the playoffs. But I'll say this, man. I think we have the best shot at beating the Chiefs just based on how our roster is structured. The only obviously main caveat is Deshaun, the quarterback situation, and possibly running back to see how Chubb will come back. If we can get those two factors really well, I think we have the best chance. We have the defense, we have the pass rush, we have the corners, we have the coordinators. Now, do we have the quarterback to guide us there? So I'm really interested to see what team is going to be the biggest challenger to the Chiefs.
I agree with you 100%. I want to pull up the Sunday night schedule in full. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. I'm going to run over the primetime games so everybody can kind of see what's to be expecting for. Let me go. I wish they had like a graphic of it. Okay, so here we go. We got week 1. We got the Ravens and Chiefs to open up the season, of course, as we all know. You got the Rams and the Lions week number 2. That's going to be an NFC divisional rematch from the game that they played in the playoffs last year. Week 2, that actually is. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm right. That's week 1. My bad. Week 2, they got the Bears and Texans. That should be interesting. Caleb, you just played a primetime game in week 2. That's going to be interesting to see. Week 3, of course, is Chiefs Falcons in Atlanta. Week 4 is going to be Bills at Ravens. Week 5 is Cowboys and Steelers. We mentioned that game earlier. Week 6 is the Bengals at the Giants. Boy, the Giants getting some going. Primetime games. Okay. Week 7 is the Jets at Pittsburgh. Week 8 is going to be the Cowboys at 49ers. I'm sure that's going to be a big game for everyone to tune into. It's going to be a week off for Sunday Night Football. Then week 9, no, I'm wrong. It's not going to be a week off. Week 9 is going to be the Jaguars at Philadelphia. Week 10 is going to be Detroit at Houston. That's going to be a fun game right there. I'm actually looking forward to see that. Week 11 is going to be the Colts at the Jets. Interesting game right there. Week 12 is the Eagles at the Rams. Week 13 is a Thanksgiving night game. That's Miami at Green Bay. Week 13 got the 49ers traveling to Buffalo to play the Bills. Oh, man. Week 14 and 16, the Chiefs have 2 home games on Sunday night. Both are against the Chargers and the Texans. Week 15, the Seahawks are at home against the Packers. Week 6, another game is Buccaneers at Cowboys as well. That's going to be the Sunday night game. So that Chiefs game is a Saturday afternoon game, excuse me. So the last Sunday night game at the moment that's scheduled is Dolphins Browns. How you feeling about those games so far?
Man, it's a lot of star power in those games, man. A lot of quarterbacks. If quarterbacks can stay healthy this year, it's going to be a lot of really good games. So the NFL definitely got it right with the Sunday night games. Chiefs, man, the Chiefs are going to be in prime time. Prime time. I'm happy we get the last game of the season. It's going to be beautiful. I hope Miami's ready.
That is really cool for real. I like that. I like that chance for them to get that game. Let me go pull up the Monday night games. Go back. This is from Arrowhead Addict. Shout out to them. Let me go full screen. So week 1, the Jets get to play San Francisco at San Francisco. I hope my boy Aaron Rodgers is 100% for that game. Week 2 is Falcons at Eagles. Like I said, I'm shocked we're getting these. We're getting multiple Monday night games, which is actually crazy. Week 3, the Jaguars are going to Buffalo to play the Bills. Week 4, you got the Titans getting a Monday night game. Shout out to the Titans and Will Levis. They're going to Miami to play the Dolphins. Week 5, you got the Saints at Kansas City. Week 6, you got the Jets going against the Bills. That's the Bills' second Monday night game. Week 7, you got the Ravens traveling to Tampa to play the Buccaneers. Week 8, you got the Giants at the Steelers. Week 9, you got the Bucks at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are making was that their second or third appearance? This is their second. Okay. Week 10, you got the Dolphins at the Rams. Week 11, Texas and Cowboys. It's going to be a big game. I know everyone's going to be tuning in for that one. Week number 12, you got the Ravens at the Chargers. Week 13, you got the Browns at the Broncos. Shout out to the Browns. Week 14, you got the Bengals at Dallas. Week 15, the Falcons travel to Vegas to play the Raiders. I plan on trying to be there. I know KD's watching. He's planning on being there. Week 16, you got the Steelers and Ravens showdown. And then week 17, you got the Lions and Niners ending it in an NFC Championship rematch. So how do you feel about this stretch?
Some interesting games to start the season. I think they scheduled pretty strategically towards the end of the year to not maybe flex games. I would encourage, sorry Falcons fans, I think that Falcons Raiders game might get flexed to another time for playoff contention teams. So, but we'll see about that. But hey, I'm glad that some teams that usually don't get time can get some time. Like the Jets, of course, are always going to get on Monday Night Football, and the Titans, the Titans getting on there too will be interesting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. I like both primetime slots. I like the fact I felt like the NFL did a solid job. They're trying to give other teams opportunities to get primetime games. Some teams like you wouldn't expect to really get a primetime game. So it's pretty cool. I like the fact they gave the Bears a one in the Sunday night slot.
You pull up the Sunday night game. Sunday night. Let's pull up each schedule again.
You want to see that again?
Yeah. Which game are you most looking forward to for each schedule? Sunday night and Monday night.
Let me pull back up this Monday night. I think the Monday night game that I'm looking forward to the most that I've seen was Texans Cowboys. I really want to see that one. That's going to be the Battle of Texas, and I think the Texans are going to be really good again this year, and I think that's going to be fun. That fun one to watch. What about you?
Okay, that would have been the one that I think that's definitely going to be a good one. I'm looking at the Lions versus 49ers. That's a rematch of the NFC Championship game. I think the Lions, as of right now, are my Super Bowl participant in the NFC. I believe that team is hungry. I think that team is angry. I think that team is on a mission to get to the Super Bowl. They have drafted extremely well. Bruce Holmes has done a great job as general manager. Dan Campbell has came in there and instilled a culture of those guys believing, playing feisty, nasty. Those guys are really embodying, the Lion way. And Detroit, the fans, man, are excited. I know a lot of fans, they are believing. They have got a lot this offseason. They've signed Jared Goff to a major deal, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So It's a lot of excitement in Detroit right now.
Hey, I understand. So you're predicting that the Lions wins the NFC this year. Is that what I
Yes.
heard?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup for sure because I do think we get a different NFC champion. I definitely think we get. One thing about it, as you've always heard me say on stream, I'm sure Armand knows this 100%. It is so hard to go back to the Super Bowl as the Super Bowl loser than it is as the winner. So it's really a challenge when you're trying to go back to a Super Bowl. He said that the Lions took Terry Arnold from us and that Goff got paid. Yeah, Goff got paid for sure. He deserved it. Okay, let me pull up the go back to the Sunday night stretch once again. I think of this stretch, this got a couple of interesting games. You got the Cowboys, the 49ers. It's going to be a slugfest within itself. Lions and Texans has a chance to be a very fun game for sure. Another one I think that's being slept on right now is probably the Dolphins at Cleveland, that Week 17 matchup, because you got the Browns team that is a gritty and grind physical team going against the Speedsters in Miami, and that's going to be interesting to see. Can they continue to thrive, or can they continue to ball out on the road at Cleveland? So, what about you?
I'm gonna go with a curveball on this. I'm gonna go with the Packers versus Seahawks. I think when any team goes to Seattle, it's hard to play there in the 12th man. And I'm really, really intrigued to see how Jordan Love is going to play in year 2 as a full-time starter. People now have film on him. He won a playoff game. I wonder, is he really ready to take maybe that next step to possibly make the jump to possibly being a very good quarterback? Or will he even surpass that and possibly get into the borderline elite category from Packer quarterbacks that we've seen? He's probably the quarterback that I'm really most intrigued to see this year outside of Deshaun Watson, to see if he can make that next jump and take the Packers to the next level. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm intrigued on that Green Bay team definitely intrigued me. I hate how their season ended last year at San Francisco. I'm going to be intrigued to watch the team this year too. And I feel like Seattle's just trending in a positive direction. I want to see how they're going to be a competitive team anyway. So that's going to be a fun game. I do agree with you 100% on that game. I can't wait to see how that game plays out as the season goes along for sure. And I don't think we did the Thursday night game. Let me pull up the Thursday night games. I think that's the only games that we haven't done. Let me make sure.
You don't want Thursday night games. You don't want Thursday night
They
games.
might have done better this time, though. You don't think they did better this time?
I don't want my team playing on Thursday night. Those quick turnarounds are not good.
Hey, let me pull this up. Hey, Amazon, hurry up, beta graphics. Shout out to Amazon, man. Shout out to Amazon. We will address it when the season gets here with the Atlanta Falcons, sir.
I'm gonna try out for pass rusher for the Falcons.
Oh my God!
I get 4 sacks.
Hey man, no comment No comment on that. No comment on the Falcons pass rush right now. Okay, so this shout out to Amazon Prime and all the stream. Before you know it, Tubi gonna get some NFL games, so you might as well get ready. It's gonna be Tubi. It's gonna be what's the other one? What's the other one?
Not Netflix.
Nah, not Netflix. Golly, I can't think of it. Peacock already got it. Netflix got it. I'll think of them later on. But it's one of them random ones. But Tubi gonna be next, man. Get ready for the Tubi games. Let's see the Thursday night games. You got week 2. You got the Dolphins at Jets. Excuse me, Dolphins at Bills. Arlo, we're gonna deal with the pass rush conversation when the season get closer. All right, we're gonna deal with it. Week 3, you got the Pats at the Jets. Week 4, you got the Cowboys going to New York. Week 5, you got the Falcons and the Bucks. Week 6, you got the 49ers and the Seahawks. Week 7, the Broncos and the Saints. Week 8, the Vikings and the Rams. Week 9, the Jets and the Texans. Week 10, the Bengals go play Baltimore. Week 11, shout out to Jaden Daniels to get his first primetime game against the Eagles. Week 12, you got the Steelers playing Cleveland. Shout out to the Browns. They got one of the two. They got 2 games on Thursday night. Week 13, you got a Black Friday game that we mentioned earlier. Week 14, you got the Lions hosting the Packers. That's going to be a great game.
Great game.
Week 15, you got the 49ers getting the chance to play against the Rams. The Rams always play the 49ers tough for some reason.
Great game.
Yeah. Week 16, you got the Browns and the Bengals. That's going to always be a good game.
Great game.
Yes, sir. Week 17, the Seahawks and Bears ended off. So they did a little bit better. There's a couple of games that could have been left off of them, but I mean, they
the
Patriots better down the stretch.
Huh? The Patriots versus Jets.
I'm not gonna say the one, but it is no jab at the Patriots. I think that's kind of early for them to have to be thrown into the fire. I think it's a little early for Drake May to have to deal with a night game, especially a Thursday night game when you're just going to be getting comfortable being an NFL quarterback. So I kind of hate that they're throwing them in the fire early. Bo Nix is going to get a chance to go to New Orleans. So you're going to see a couple of the rookie quarterbacks. What do you think about it?
I definitely think the first half will be a little interesting. I think the first game with the Bills Dolphins will be interesting.
Just another one you see? He might have froze.
The Saints?
There you go.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But the Broncos versus Saints, so Sean Payton going back to New Orleans will be a very interesting game. I'm very intrigued by the second half of the year. You know, the November, December games are really good. Like the rematch of even the Raiders Chiefs, you know, the Raiders beat the Chiefs late in the year. So they have the recipe, you know, Antonio Pierce gonna have those guys ready to play for sure. I think the Lions versus Packers rivalry game is going to be great. Rams versus 49ers rivalry game. The Browns versus Bengals game is going to be really interesting, especially because that game is going to be in Cincinnati. That game is going to be very intense. We've played the Bengals a couple times on Thursday Night Football, and it's been pretty good games. So that's kind of been a staple for the NFL. So I'm really intrigued to see how both teams will be doing at that point of the season. You know, will we be battling for a division title? Will we be battling for a playoff spot? You know, it's gonna be interesting.
That's true. That's true. And those are all the games that we're gonna get a chance to recap. Are you excited, man? We're a couple months away now. It's getting close.
Yeah, I'm excited. I need to book time off, man, and book some flights. So
yes,
I'm looking forward to going to my first Falcons game. So I'm very excited to go to the Mercedes-Benz Dome Stadium, however y'all call it. I'm gonna be there. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm gonna be there. So show me a good time.
You get to see me be on my best behavior. And
don't embarrass me and make you lose. I'm telling you, if Penix gonna play this year, man, I think he's gonna play this year. I think
Okay, y'all heard it here first. I'm excited too. I gotta get when we get off the show shortly. I got to do the same thing. I got people already hit me up about these home games. They know I'm a season ticket holder, so I gotta get a chance to take a look on there and see. Whoa there. Anyways, I gotta get a chance to get on there and look at some of the games. But hey, y'all, it's NFL season back. Get ready to go to some of these games. I want to see y'all out here popping out at some of these games. Even if you're not Falcons fans, go support your teams, man. It's nothing like be a part of NFL season. I'm telling you, once you get into it, you love it. You love going to the games. I've been a season ticket holder for God knows how many years, and it's been a fun experience each and every year. It's one thing I love to do each and every year. And for us, like I said, I'm looking forward to our season. We got some very, very good home games. This is probably one of our better home game schedules. Of course, I mean, shout out to all the Falcon season ticket holders. We almost done paying them season tickets off. Oh my God. Oh Lord, last payment June the 1st. But for everyone that's a season ticket holder anywhere or that's planning to go to games, y'all make sure you start planning them tickets out, planning them trips out. Also, let me throw this out for me and Armand. If you have an event any Sunday during NFL season, do not invite me because more than likely I will be at the game.
Hey, I just want to bring some good news to Falcons fans. I think you all will be hosting a playoff game in January.
Hey, I speak from your mouth to speaking that thing into existence. I want to see my first Falcon playoff home game in 8 years. Hey, you spoke it. We're gonna claim it.
We gotta get back that joy in Mercedes-Benz, some positivity.
Sir. Yes, sir. I need an additional home game. But you got anything to say before we get up out of here, bro?
Hey, no, man. I'm just happy that we were able to get on and see these schedules, man. And the season's right around the corner, man. We about to hit, training camp, and everything. So that's all I got.
All right, boy, Arlo. We're gonna talk Falcons eventually, sir. We're gonna talk Falcons eventually. All right. I wanted to talk about all the teams today. But until next time, this has been the NFL schedule release show. Y'all get ready for the season. You got the schedule now. Go get your plans in motion. I know we're gonna be making plans out here. So until next time, signing out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night and go watch some NBA playoffs.
See y'all.